Seems legit. Laser.
Hello Legitimates and welcome back to another channel. Today we are making this fun little magnet for your dishwasher. So we're going to open up XCX and we're going to draw a circle. Now this was not a perfect circle because you can see the numbers over here are wrong. So if we click that little symbol on the side, it will make it so that it is not locked to the same position, and then we're just going to type in a number. You can literally type in any number you want and I can hit enter. Then I'm going to click the button again so that it stays locked in that position, so no matter what size I bring it to, it matches, as you can see there. So that's the size that I've decided, so 8 centimeters, which is 80 millimeters, and I like to have it as a different color. So we're going to make this edge red. This will be the wood cutting line, and then I can pick a different color for other cutting. I also do this with engraving as well. So we're just going to shrink it down because I want to have the circle on the inside. So I'm going to make it a different color so that I can see. And then that's probably a little bit too small. So we're going to copy and paste it. And then we're going to line them up, make this one a bit bigger or a bit smaller to create kind of a ring effect. And you can just make it bigger and smaller by dragging these corners. If you drag the two opposites, it can look in the center. Otherwise, you can drag it and you saw those center marks. So you can also select and then click shift. Oh, no, I didn't do that now. We're going to just put the words in because apparently I'm happy enough with my circle. So I like to type the two words separately. Because one's going to be upside down, and it's also just easier to better arrange things. Now, the font that I pick here is actually not the font we end up with, but I kept it in so you can see how I design everything. Unfortunately, the T on the dirty was a little bit too thin for the small size that I was making it, and it snapped off as soon as I picked it up. But you can see here there's all those little cut lines. If you hit this weld button, it makes them all go away, so that it will now be one complete piece. I love that it's a nice quick little button. We're going to move this out of the way, and then we're going to to move across, I held shift and then moved the wheel of my mouse, just so that you can just go across the screen. So now I'm just going to line these two up inside, and then I want to select them both and shrink them down so that they'll be the same size, but fit within our inner circle, because this is where they're going to sit for the actual magnet. Now you can play around with this a little bit and choose different parts. Just it depends on what font, and if you want them as a straight line, you could also have them curved, which is something I thought about just right now. So again, you can see I'm moving these around just to make sure that it doesn't touch the very, very edge. We can move that one out of the way because it'd be cut out of a different fabric. And even though these are going to be separate things, the reason I'm putting the words inside the circle is, one, to make sure that they fit, and secondly, so that we don't waste as much of the acrylic. So unless you needed another black circle, in which case you could put the words next to it, I thought this was a good way to waste as little as possible. So now I'm just setting up the cut for this. So I did it 100%. 10 millimeters, and I did 3 passes, mainly just because I couldn't remember what they were. And for the wood, I've got it saved here, so it's 100% power, 10 millimeters per second, and 2 passes. And now we're ready to actually set up the fabrics. So I've put these along that bottom edge and in each corner, just so that you can see them there. And then I'm going to, as you can see in the top corner, push the little ruler, and that will work out the depth and where the laser actually needs to sit. I do love that this is automated. So then it goes into the corner, comes back to where we were. So now we're going to click Start Marking and Rectangle, and then click the green button. And I'm going to drag it into a corner and push the button on the machine, and then go up in line with the spare space. So that reverse R there, I want to make sure I'm in line with it and not going past it. And then we click Done, and then you can draw a second rectangle. So I'm going to go to this corner and then just randomly somewhere. We care more about the corner part. And then you can click End Marking, And from here, we can then click done. So you can see it's created the 2 separate rectangles for us. Now I can line everything up and waste, again, as little as possible. This is also, for me, using up some scrap pieces. This is why I love this. We just need to move that out of the way. But that's why I love this feature, because I can waste as little as possible by lining them all up in the corner. I also just like to select them again and make sure the settings are still the same, especially if I missed something. And I've apparently decided to change those settings as well. You can do whatever you like. Faster, slower, whatever works for you. And then so I'm zooming in just to make sure I'm just inside the acrylic. Same with this. I could probably move that over a bit, get it closer to the edge, and that just gives me more room for little things like earrings and key rings later. So now we're going to go to process, and off it goes. So this I've sped up really, really fast because you can't really see, but you can see it goes round and round a lot, and it's all done. Now we can just lift them out, and they should just fall out. Like so. Beautiful. I will clean the edge of that, and then this should lift up and just come straight off as well. Now, this is where I realized that the T in dirty is really just too thin. So you'll see now, just quickly, above it, I have cut out a different font. And so now we are going to glue them all together. I didn't really show you that very well. So you need to pick off the backing, or I guess it's a topping as well. So there's like a paper protector on it so that you don't accidentally scratch it and damage it. But that does need to cut off before we stick it on. Now here I've got the B7000, which I got from, I think, Temu, which is a great glue, but you'll see in a second it's nearly empty. So I end up getting the Quick Grip contact adhesive as the second glue I use. But first things first, we do need to pick off all these backings. So I'm just going to smush a little bit of the glue all the way around on the back part. Now it's a circle, so you can pick which side's the back part and then line it up in the center as best you can, like so. From here, this is where I had to get the different glue. I also do recommend when using tiny little letters like this that you grab some tweezers, as this would have been much easier to do with the tweezers. But I don't know where mine are at the moment, and I wanted to get this video done. So I just took off the wrong thing. You want to have the smallest nozzle possible to make sure that your glue doesn't go just everywhere, which does happen. And then we're just going to place some glue on the back and put them all in place. I did think that maybe dipping it like this would be better. I do find it a bit easier. And again, if I had the tweezers, it would go even better. So you can see here, I just dropped it in. And then if you had tweezers, this would be a really quick way to do that. And we just do all the letters. I have let this dry for a bit, and now I've just got 2 magnets, just because it is quite a large circle, but you could put one in the middle if you really wanted to. I think 2 is just going to work better in my household. So these already have like a sticky adhesive on the back, which are amazing. I got a pack of these from Bunnings. So they're just basic magnets. So I'm going to put 2 on there and just push them down really, really hard. Make sure that it is nice and stuck, and give it a shake to make sure. And that's pretty much it. So make sure that you like and subscribe if this was helpful. See you next time.